Well, hello again, Kitchen Science. I hope you're all doing well. So we're going to do another egg cook today. We're going to cook some beef chuck, which I will show you at the end. What it looks like, how much it cost, where I got it, etc. We did a really simple one today. We bought a beef chuck for like 15-16 bucks at the local grocery store. We're going to go ahead and cover it in Lowry's, which we already did. We're going to let it sit for a little bit on the counter, half hour. And then we're gonna pop it out here as soon as this guy is done. So what you see me doing right here is I'm gonna light the egg. So I took 4 large chunks of charcoal, as you can see they're decent size, right? And I'm gonna get all of them lit, put them in the center of this, and then pour more charcoal over there and throw a couple of wood chunks down there as well. And then we're gonna let that sit for a little bit until it comes up to temp. And then we're going to finish putting our assembly together, and then we're gonna get it bring it again back up to temp. We're going to put the meat on and we're going to let it go, and I'll walk you guys through what all that's going to go ahead and take as well. All right, now you can see it. So that took about 2 to 3 minutes. So what I then go ahead and do is I want to move them around into their area. So I'll take a couple of these, just kind of move them right there into the center, like so. It's hot, but it's definitely warm. So then I will take the bag of charcoal that I have. Okay, and then I will throw some wood chips on top. Just so that we can get that all going. Alright, so there's that. My flue is all the way open at the bottom. It's been open the entire time. I find that helps light them. The gas was on for about 2.5-3 minutes to get those going. And now I'm literally just going to sit here and let a roar start up. And then I'll show you guys what else we're working on. All right, everyone, we are about up to 600 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, right up to there. So now I'm going to start the assembly process. So I'll put this guy in first, and then I put my deflector plate in, upside down, like so. And then I make sure that the grill grate goes in. Just like that, and then I'm going to shut it, continue to leave the flue open, and I'm going to let it come up to temp. We're shooting for around 400 degrees again today. All right, so you can see we're almost at 400. We're around 375, which is great. We just about have the blue smoke on. We got some white coming out, and our flue is still open. So what we're going to go ahead and do is now we're going to adjust our temp. So we want to try to live around in this smoke area right here. So we're shooting for it to be anywhere between 250 and 300 degrees. 275 would be great if we can get it there, but that's kind of our goal right now. So what we're going to go ahead and do, now that we've got white smoke coming out, and by the way, that took about 25 minutes to get there. I'm going to shut this down about halfway. Okay. I'm now going to go ahead and take our cap, and I'm going to open it up all the way, and I'm going to leave it alone for another 20 minutes, and I'm going to see where this ends up taking us to. And then from there, we'll make a couple more adjustments. Just see, we got white smoke coming out now because we're stopping some of the oxygen that's going along in there, so it's starving a little bit, so it's showing off a bunch of white. That eventually does go away once we get our temp down to where we're looking, but again, it takes a little bit of time. So I'll let you guys know how long that takes when I come back to the next to check it. All right, everybody, so you'll notice we're almost there, right? So been another 20 minutes. We've got this opened all the way. We've got the draft door open about halfway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close it about a third of the way now. I'm still going to leave my draft open. I still want to see what goes ahead and happens. So I'm going to give us another 20 minutes. And I'm going to see, do we end up getting down into this little smoke area that we want. I also have a surprise for you guys. If you remember last week, I had a thermometer sitting right here that was basically broken. It was kind of jumping all over the place, and it was this cheap one I found on Amazon. Well, anyways, I ended up deciding to send that back. I'm surprised that I could still do it, so I sent it back. They credited my account, and I bought a meter. I bought a meter original. So I'm going to walk you guys through that today, and I'm going to end up doing a separate video on that, explaining how the meter actually works, and what are the benefits to it. Because from what I can tell, the app that goes along with that product is just what makes it fantastic. Oh, look. See, we're going up a little bit more, so I think we're going to go ahead and close the flue a little bit too. About halfway, and it is very warm. Another thing you want to do to see in case your thermometer is not working properly or not, or if it's just registering a lot of heat coming out of the open flame down at the bottom, you want to check the egg. Oh yeah, the egg's nice and hot. So we know that this is definitely a true test, which means that we really do need to kind of get our product down to where it's going. So I'm going to close it to about a finger width. It's open right here. It's a true finger, usually just past this point. That's how I know it on my grill. But usually I can get a finger in there, and that tells me that I'm good. So this temp should be down below 300 probably the next 20 minutes. All right, all, it's been about 20 minutes. You can see the temp hasn't moved much. We're sitting at like 320. I have our lid completely closed up here, and I have this sitting at a fingers, which tells me right now that it's a little bit starved for it's a little bit overheated. So I'm gonna open her up, let some of that heat out. I'm gonna actually feel in here, and so what I have in here is I have a metal pan. I have a cast iron convection plate pan, and a lot of the times that thing gets so hot that it holds a lot of heat. The ceramics are a little bit better; they release some of it, but these guys go ahead and they keep a lot of it in there. So from time to time, I have to go ahead and actually release some of that excess heat that it has in here. You know, notice our temp went ahead and dropped all the way down to almost 200 degrees. I'm going to give us another few minutes, and then I'm going to come out here, I'm going to check, and I'm going to see where it's at. But you can see, as we're talking, it's slowly starting to roll up right now. So I'm going to see where it ends, and then we're going to go ahead and hopefully pop the meat on, talk about the meter, and go from there. All right, everybody, it's been another 20 minutes, and you'll notice we are like right at 300. So I'm going to start right now. I'm going to go ahead and pop the meat on, put the meter in it. And I'll put the meter in it first, pop the meat on, see where the temps are, and then I'll show you guys a couple of pictures of what it looks like as it cooks, and I'll kind of walk you through a few of the cool things about it. Like I said, I'll make another video about it, but at least you'll be able to get a pretty good idea of what it's all about and how it works. All right, everyone, here's this. So this is, as I'll show in the picture at the end, chuck roast. Sorry about the bird, I can't really control that. And it was about $15.80, and I got it at Publix. I don't remember what it weighs, maybe close to 2 pounds, 3 pounds. And put Lowry seasoning salt on it, a pretty generous amount. I put it all over it. And the rule of thumb when you're doing this, these sort of poor man's burnt ends is what they're actually called, is you want to season the meat before you even light the smoker. So I seasoned the meat, I lit the smoker. It's probably going on almost an hour and a half now that it's taken to go ahead and get the smoker up to temp. Yeah, she's definitely up to temp. Yeah, you can see she's definitely at the high end of our temp. And so as you saw last week, I lost my thermometer. It was acting erratic. I don't know what was wrong with it, but it wasn't working, so I sent it back to the company. I got my $22 back, and I decided to buy this. I found one of these online. It's brand new. I found it on eBay for 60 bucks. They retail for 70, so I was happy with $10 off. And I'll go into a lot more detail with this thing, but basically, this is it. That's the thermometer. So we have the sensing end on it. Starts at the tip and ends at that little line right there. You'll notice that below there, inside of there, there's a couple extra pieces of metal. That's where it charges. Wirelessly charges, and again, I'll go into all the details about this. Down here, this black end is ceramic, and that's where sensors are hitting, and that little stainless steel piece right there at the end, that is actually another thermometer. So this has a thermometer here And it has the thermometer down here. And what you do is when you use them, the sensing area needs to be between this line and this tip right up here. And the way I like to temp these is I kind of look for the densest part. Sitting right in here is our densest part. So I'll go ahead and I'll take the meter and I'll pop it in from this side. It'll come up to about here. And then it'll go ahead and it'll register everything that we're doing. So not only will it give me the internal temp of the meat, but this little end down here will go ahead and give me the external temp of the egg as everything's cooking. And there's this really cool app that adjusts to these. So I'm really looking forward to checking that out. And when I do the video, I'll utilize this, the next video where I talk about this, I'll utilize this cook and I'll show you everything I learned and all the data, etc. But for right now, let's go ahead and get it on. All right, guys, so we're there. We are at temp. Look at that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of meat. Look at all the moisture coming off of it. And the thermometer did a really good job. So I've got some butcher paper sitting over here. We're gonna go ahead and grab this really quickly and put it on there. All right. Great. And then what we're also gonna do is we're gonna pull out the thermometer. I know I'm kind of fast here, but this is in real time. So there's that. I'm gonna pop it right there for now. Next thing we need to go ahead and do is I'm gonna wrap this. This is butcher paper. Just gonna wrap it that way. I know it's weird, I'm doing this with one hand. Let's fold it that way. And then fold it that way, and then we're going to flip it over. Put it back on the grill. Take our thermometer that I need to go ahead and put back in there. Put it back in. And now we're going to let it go up to 195 degrees. Right now it's 171. All right, everyone. We're just right at that 300 degree mark. So the meat came out. Let it rest for about 20 minutes so that we didn't lose a lot of liquid. And we didn't. We were lucky. So I went ahead and chopped it up. Threw some barbecue sauce in it. My barbecue sauce is Stubbs. It's like, I think it's like 8 parts Stubbs and 2 parts sambal oelek and a little bit of fish sauce. Probably, I don't know, maybe 5-6%. And then a decent amount of smoked salt, because I love hickory smoked salt. And now we're going to put it back in here. We're going to leave it in the pan. We're going to leave it there for an hour at 275, and then we're going to come check it on it in a little bit. All right, just want to give you an update on this. This is about 20 minutes in. It's just above 250. We're right around 260. Oh, look at that. You need smell-o-vision here. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit so I can get a little bit more crunchy in that. All right. We are back. So you look what we're sitting here, about 275. It's been an hour. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, look at how that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what we're looking for there. That's what we want to see. So now we're going to pull it off. Let them rest for 20 minutes and then see how they taste.